All right, Michael, the AFC East, boy, this division is really shaping up to be something special. We saw yesterday the Buffalo Bills, the best team in football. I've been saying it all throughout the offseason, all throughout this season. You've been echoing those same sentiments, but they went to the Meadowlands and lost to the New York Jets yesterday, 20-17, only 3 points from the Bills in the second half here. What went wrong for Buffalo yesterday?
Well, I mean, look, let me just say this. I think, and I've said this before, and I didn't know he was hurt. I wish I would have said. I wish I would have said it on my show on Sunday morning. But when they don't have Matt Milano in the game, they're just not the same team defensively. They're just not. I mean, and so and look, the Jets are a team that I think can play these six back offenses because of the speed of their defensive front. Like the reason to play these six back offenses, you got to be very fast up front. You can't be plotters. You can't have slow guys. You got to be able to tackle really well, and you've got to be able to run really well inside out. And the Jets have a defense that can do that. What I marveled at yesterday was the fact that the Jets were able to get Allen on the ground 5 times. I mean, you get Josh Allen tackled 5 times for sacks. That's 5 negative plays. To go along with his 16 incompletions, that's 21 plays that he had in the game that didn't work. 21. Now, what did they have in the game? I think usually they both had 61 plays.
Yep.
So you start with that pretense that you basically sacked them 5 times, you forced 16 incomplete passes, and you intercepted 2 passes. So now you're at 23 negative plays out of the 61. 1/3 of the plays the Bills ran were bad plays. And the Jets give them all the credit in the world. They did exactly what I thought they would have done against the Patriots is they said, Zach Wilson, you're not playing today. You're going to we're going to 25 passes. We're not going to try to make it down the field. We're going to try to run the ball as best we can. And they did. They got 34 carries for 174 yards. And I think they played the way they had to play the game. Credit to the Jets. I mean, you got to give them credit for it. I didn't think it could happen. I thought to me that the second, fourth quarter, Allen would take over, but they got him on the ground 5 times. I mean, that's remarkable.
Allen, after the game, said, quote, "It's tough to win when your quarterback plays like shit." And I thought he was honest about how he played. And it kind of reverted back to, I was speaking with our producer, Stephen Bond, diehard Bills fan, part of Bills Mafia. I was speaking with him before the episode, and he said, yeah, this reverted back to kind of 2018, 2019 Josh Allen, especially early on in that game when you see the interception in the red zone, and then you see the other interception to Sauce Gardner. And it's just, I don't know. I don't know if he was forcing it or what was going on with him, but do you think that he was just kind of trying to press a little bit too much in this game?
I don't know. I mean, I think to me, he hasn't gotten in a rhythm in the last 2 weeks. He throws 2 interceptions in the fourth quarter against Green Bay.
Yeah.
And I thought he would bounce back this week. I thought they would play better, but again, when you can run and chase him like they did, look, he's still the leading rusher on the team. I mean, think about that. The guy's got, 9 carries for 86 yards, a 36-yard. He had 2 touchdowns like Mahomes. I mean, like, he made the longest play of the day in the running game was his 36 yards. Every other back on the team, the longest run was 9. I mean, so, it's hard, and the Jets did a great job of containing him and not giving him that, other than the 42-yarder that Stephon Diggs got late in the game. I mean, other than that, they really didn't give up a big play. They made no big plays in the game. I mean, when I look at my explosive sheet chart here, right, so every week I write up the explosives, and so there they are. They had 2 42-yard pass and a 36-yard quarterback run. Meanwhile, the Jets had 3 25-yard run, 24 pass, and a 20-yard run. I mean, so and what remarkable for me was they had they got 5 sacks for only 22 yards, but 3 tackles for that to me was the game. And I think the penalties too. Look, the Jets didn't give up a penalty for a first down. That was critical. Yeah. So, I mean, look, Buffalo shows vulnerability. If you can run the ball on Buffalo, and you can control the pace of the game like the Jets did with their running game. I mean, what did Buffalo end up having the ball? So the Jets had the ball 32-44. What's my theory? You want to play great defense, play less defense. And the way you play less defense is you convert third downs and you eat the clock up. I mean, Buffalo only had the ball for 9 possessions, and the 9th possession was with 1:42 to go in the game.
How much do you put on the offensive coordinator, Ken Dorsey, there, and not really making many adjustments in that second half?
I mean, everybody says that about the adjustments, but I think there were plays on the tape that I just don't think he made. And I think sometimes when they get into these loose games where the defensive front's fast and the team tackles well, all those plays on the blackboard that look good, right? Like the opposite of that is the Raider defense. The Raiders, they're horrible in space. They have no team speed. So the blackboard plays, instead of going for 4 yards, they go for 14. And I think the Jets did a great job of tackling yesterday in space. So I don't know if it's much of the adjustments, but when your quarterback's turning the ball over, here's their fourth quarter. Here's what happened in the fourth quarter. They ran 24 plays. They had 5 first downs, and they had a punt. They had a field goal and a punt. Meanwhile, the Jets had 17 plays, 5 first downs, and a field goal.
Zach Wilson, 18 of 25, 154, and a touchdown this week after that performance we saw last week against New England. And Michael, let's spread some love here on the New York Jets, because I think a lot of people think that I hate the New York Jets. I don't hate the New York Jets. I like giving Jets fans a little bit of problems on Twitter there. But are you buying Jets stock? Like, do you think this is a playoff team? Do you think this is a team that could maybe compete to win the division? Which might sound crazy to say after what we saw a week ago, but now here they are. They just beat the Buffalo Bills, who were the team that was in first place in the AFC East.
I mean, I think they can certainly compete for it. I mean, they've proven that they can beat good teams. I mean, they beat Buffalo at home. I mean, that's a hell of a win. And you can't take that away from them. And as long as the quarterback doesn't screw them up, right? As long as the quarterback doesn't fuck it up, then you got a chance. And because they're not going to give up big plays. They're going to keep the ball in front of them. Their front's going to rush the passer, and they can tackle the quarterback. One of the things that I think that gets often overlooked is the ability to get the guy on the ground. Last night we saw Mahomes. They didn't get him on the ground, right? They had him, but they didn't get him on the ground. Mm-hmm. And usually that's the case with Josh Allen. You got him, but you don't get him on the ground, or they give him a long whistle so you can't get him on the ground. And I think the Jets will be rugging it up. They just got to continue to be able to run the football and keep Wilson from blowing the game for them. And, they've done this without Corey Davis, one of their better receivers. I mean, Wilson came in and played really well. And so, and that's all they got. They got Wilson, and they got a couple plays from and then they're running backs. That's it.
Thanks for watching the GM Shuffle with Michael Lombardi. And for more videos like this, make sure to subscribe to VSiN Live and the GM Shuffle podcast with Michael Lombardi, presented by DraftKings and VSiN, wherever you get your podcasts.